Okay, shalom banim. הנושא שלנו היא יין נסך, יין נסך, וסתם יינם. קודם כל, מה ההבדל בין יין נסך לסתם יינם? יין נסך הוא יין שמשתמשים בו עובדי עבודה זרה, idol worshippers, or pagans, in their in their religious practices. זוהי יין נסך. ויין נסך היא אסור ליהודים min ha-Torah. However, there's another thing, and that is called Stam Yayin. Stam Yayin is a yayin shayach le'enam Yehudim, belongs to non-Jews, אבל לא משתמשים בהם לעבודה זרה. סתם שייך להם. וסתם יינם הוא אינו אסור מן התורה. So, yayin nesech asur min ha-Torah, stam yinam einam asurim min ha-Torah. Aval stam yinam asur mi'derabanan. Let's take a look at what Shulchan Aruch says. Number 10, top of your page, here where my cursor is. So, katuv b'Shulchan Aruch. Stam yinam shel amamim ovdei kochavim asur b'hana'a v'hu hadin l'maga'am b'yayin shelanu. Yesh shnei isurim b'stam yinam. Two prohibitions in stam yinam. Achad, ze asur b'hana'a. Im yesh stam yinam, again, that's wine, which is not used for religious purposes by a non-Jew, but is still owned by the non-Jew. As stam yinam hu asur b'hana'a. Perush hadavar, I can't get any benefit from it whatsoever. Asur limkor, asur latet la kelev sheli. I can't get any benefit from it whatsoever. Ze asur b'hana'a. Ve'kal v'chomer, and certainly rak b'shtiyah, even if I'm just drinking it, it's asur. Aval lo rak shtiyah, aval afilu b'hana'a, any benefit whatsoever, asur. Zo lefi Shulchan Aruch, ze isur shel stam yenam. V'hu hadin, not only that, but in addition, lemaga'am b'yayin shelanu. Afilu im ha'eno Yehudi nogea, just touches the wine, shelanu, our Jewish wine. Ze gam ken oser et hayayin. אז יש לנו שני איסורים בסתם ינם. אחד, שזה יין של אינו יהודי, וזה אסור בשתייה, וזה אסור בהנאה. And also, אם האינו יהודי נוגע ביין שלנו, יין של יהודי, והוא נוגע, and he touches it, זה גם כן אסור. האיסורים האלה בסתם ינם ומגע, and a non-Jew touching Jewish wine, אלה הם אינם אסור מן התורה, זה רק אסור מדרבנן. כך אומרת שולחן ערוך, Rabbi Yosef Karo. However, in the Rashi script over here, this is the position of Rav Moshe Isserlis, B'shvil Ashkenazim. Shulchan Aruch, Maran HaMechaber, Rav Yosef Karo, Sfaradim, Rama, Rav Moshe Isserlis, who posek B'shvil Ashkenazim. So, what does the Rama say? Mishum gzerat yayin nesech shenitnasech le'elilim. מדוע יש לנו איסור של סתם ינם ומגע של יין, מגע אינו יהודי? Why do I even have these rabbinic prohibitions? אז הרמה אומר, גזירה, it's a rabbinic decree, כדי שאני לא אבוא לשתות יין נסך ממש. So I don't come to violate the actual Torah prohibition of wine which is used for religious, non-Jewish religious purposes, for pagan idolatry. Okay. הרמ"א ממשיך ואומר, בזמן הזה, שאינו שכיח שהאומות מנסחים לעבודת כוכבים. In our day and age, בזמן הזה, כשאתה הולך לחנות, אתה רוצה לקנות יין. You're not going to find sacramental religious, wine which is used for religious purposes. You just don't come around that these days. In ancient days, you could find religious use wine all the time, but now it's very rare. As Harama Omer, mikevan sheze eno shchiach, it's not so common to find it. If you walk into a church, then maybe you'll find it. But other than that, you're not really going to come across it that often. As Harama Omer, yesh omrim demaga oved kochavim biyayin shelanu eno asur behanaa rak b'shtiya v'chein stam yayin shelahem. As Rama Omer, since it's not really that common that you're going to find actual yayin nesech, אז הגזירה דרבנן שאסור בסתם יין ואסור במגע יין, מגע עובד כוכבים ביין שלנו, אינו אסור בהנאה ביום הזה, רק אסור בשתייה. So Rama argues on Shulchan Aruch, and he says that it's only going to be asur to drink, but to get other benefit, you're allowed to. It's going to be less strict than it used to be because the problem, the potential that you're going to actually violate actual yayin nesech is pretty minimal. So therefore, the strictness around this prohibition of Stam Yayin, wine that belongs to a non-Jew, or Maga eno Yehudi shel yayin shelanu, a non-Jew touching our wine, according to Ramah, is going to be less strict. It's going to be more lenient. ולכן מותר לגבות בחובו מן עובד כוכבים סתם יינם מפני דהווה כמציל מידם. And therefore he says you can get benefit. So for example, you can use this wine, which is Stam Yayin, or wine, Jewish wine, which the guy touched. You can sell it. You can pay a debt with it. You can get other benefit. You can't drink it, but you can get other benefit. Aval hu b'sayem, even though that's the case, hu omer lechatchila asur liknoto lemachro kedei lihistaker bo. Still, you shouldn't make a business out of it. You shouldn't make a business out of stam yainam, buying and selling it. It's not 100% prohibited, but he said it's best. It says it's best to be strict. Tov. Azehu Shulchan Aruch ve'Rama b'she'ela shel yayin nesech ve'stam yainam ve'maga eno Yehudi. So you might remember from class or from general life. Yesh mashu shenikra yayin mevushal. That's gimel over here on your page. Yayin mevushal. Maze yayin mevushal. Yayin shenit bashel, that was cooked. It was heated up to a boiling point. Ve'achshav hayayin hazeh eino ra'ui le'avodat kochavim. Can't be used for idolatrous purposes. If it can't be used for idolatrous purposes, then we're not really. There's no reason to have a prohibition around it, because we're not going to violate anything related to avodah zarah. So stop. So therefore, im yesh yayin mevushal, af al pi shehaoved kochavim nagabo, or haoved kochavim shayach lo, he owns it. Nevertheless, once it's yayin mevushal, it is not subject to the rabbinic prohibition of stam yainam or magagoy. Right? Zeh Shulchan Aruch in Gimel. Yayin mevushal shelanu shenagabo aved kochavim mutar. It's absolutely permissible. Ume matai nikra mevushal. At what point is it considered quote unquote cooked? Mishahir tiach al gabeha esh. Once it boils on the fire. Okay, number 11 here on your page. Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch. Mutar lahafkid v'lishloach yayin biyad oved kochavim. You can send wine through a non-Jewish messenger or agent, and you don't have to worry that the wine is now not kosher. However, yesh tanai, there's one condition. Yesh tanai, imu chatum bechotam betoch chotam. It needs a double seal on it. If it's double sealed, then that's considered that it is protected, and you don't have to have any concern that it came to be used for anything at all, and it is not subject to stam yainam maga eno Yehudi. Okay, next, number 12. What is the reason for this prohibition? So we gave one, but we're going to give a second one now. So there are two reasons behind this prohibition. Harav Avram Danzig, number 12, in Chochmat Adam, writes the following: Yayin shenit nasech lifnei avodah zarah asur b'hanaa min midoraita. If you have actual wine which is used for actual idolatry, that's asur min haTorah, asur b'shtiyah, ve'asur bekol hanaa, and it's based on a pasuk. Aval, next line over here where my cursor is. Aval stam yainam mutar midoraita. afilu b'shtia. If it's just regular wine owned by a non-Jew, then that's 100% mutar min Torah. Aval chachamim gazru le'asor b'shtia. But the rabbis came up with a prohibition not to use this wine for two reasons. One, ki gizera mishum binotehem. We don't want to come to be so socially integrated with the Gentile community and ultimately breaking down social barriers and intermarrying. Mishum binotehem means due to their daughters. That's a catchphrase, which means concerned about ultimately intermarrying, marrying a Gentile woman. And we said before, the other reason is we're concerned that maybe you'll come to actually make use of real yayin nesach, of actual idolatrous wine. Okay, as hachachamim amru, ze asur b'shtia, you're not allowed to drink it. And not only is it asur b'shtia, kidei shelo yitu lomar degam yayin nesach mamash eino asur ela b'shtia. And so you don't come to make a mistake with real yayin nesach, which you're not allowed to get any benefit from whatsoever, drinking, selling, whatever, making money off of it. You're not allowed to get any benefit off of actual yayin nesach. So achachamim gazru shafilu stam yenam yihye asur behana'ah. So the rabbi said, you know what, even regular yayin, stam yenam is also going to be asur behana'ah. Okay, last line over here in number 12. Yayin shenogea bo akum, afilu yayin shelanu yesh lo kol din stam yenam ve'en chiluk b'nehem klal. He summarizes what we said already, that not only is actual pagan idolatrous wine asur min haTorah, midrabanan, wine that belongs to a Gentile called stam yenam, and midrabanan yayin shelanu, Jewish wine which is touched by a non-Jew, Gamken dino kimo stam yenam. Okay, now there's just one thing that we mentioned in class which is not in your booklet, and that is who is the, what kind of Gentile is subject to these laws that if they own it or they touch it or whatever, then we're not allowed to drink it. So there are three categories. Yesh akum. Akum ze oved kochavim, actual pagan idolaters. The mi shehu akum im hu nogea bayayin shelanu, o the stam yenam ze asur behana'ah. Okay, so that's an actual idolater. Stam yenam, the rabbinic prohibition would be asur behana'ah. V'yesh notzrim umuslamim. Ma halacha with Christians and Muslims. As Muslamim hem vadai enam ovdei avodah zarah. V'notzrim k'tzat yoter mesubach. Christians is a little bit more nuanced. Bottom line, halacha hi she'im yesh stam yayin shel notzri, or stam yayin shel muslami, or muslami or notzri nogea b'yayin shelanu, they touched our wine. As kan ze lo asur mishum sheze gezera mishum yayin nesach. It's not really, we're so concerned we're going to end up with pagan wine. These people are not pagans, and therefore ze eno asur ela rak b'shtia midrabanan. So if it's an actual idolater, it's asur midrabanan afilu bahana'ah, any kind of benefit. If it's a Christian or Muslim, ze asur b'shtia umutar behana'ah. And with this, we conclude our topic of Yayin Nesach Stam Yenam.